Adolf Hitler was a man who lived in Germany a long time ago. He was born in Austria in 1889, but he later moved to Germany. Hitler became very famous, but not for good reasons. He was the leader of a political group called the Nazi Party. The Nazi Party believed in ideas that were very dangerous and wrong. They thought that some people were better than others because of their race. This idea is called racism, and it is very harmful. Hitler wanted Germany to be the most powerful country in the world. He thought that Germany should take over other countries. This led to a big war called World War II. World War II started in 1939 and lasted until 1945. Many countries were involved in this war, including the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union. Hitler's army was called the Wehrmacht, and it was very strong at the beginning of the war. They used a strategy called Blitzkrieg, which means lightning war. This strategy was very fast and surprised many countries. Germany took over many places in Europe, including France, Poland, and Norway. But as the war continued, things started to change. The Allied forces, which were the countries fighting against Germany, became stronger. They worked together to stop Hitler and his army. One of the most important battles was the Battle of Stalingrad. This battle took place in the Soviet Union and was very long and difficult. The Soviet army fought hard and eventually defeated the German army. This was a turning point in the war. After this, the Allied forces started to win more battles. In 1944, the Allied forces landed in Normandy, France. This event is called D-Day. It was a very important moment because it helped the Allies push the German army back. As the Allies moved closer to Germany, Hitler's power began to weaken. In 1945, the Allied forces entered Germany from different directions. The Soviet army came from the east, and the American and British armies came from the west. Hitler knew that he was losing the war. He stayed in a bunker in Berlin, which was the capital of Germany. A bunker is a safe place underground where people can hide during a war. On April 30, 1945, Hitler died in his bunker. Some people say he killed himself, but no one knows for sure. After Hitler's death, Germany surrendered and the war ended. World War II was one of the deadliest wars in history. Millions of people died, including soldiers and civilians. Civilians are people who are not in the army. Many civilians died because of bombings, hunger, and other reasons. Hitler's actions during the war caused a lot of suffering. One of the worst things he did was something called the Holocaust. The Holocaust was a plan to kill millions of Jewish people. Hitler and the Nazis believed that Jewish people were bad, which was not true. They built special places called concentration camps. These camps were like prisons, but much worse. People were forced to work very hard, and many were killed. The Nazis also killed other groups of people, including Roma, disabled people, and political enemies. The Holocaust was a terrible time in history. After the war, the world learned about the Holocaust. People were shocked and saddened by what had happened. Many countries decided that they needed to make sure something like this would never happen again. They created new laws and organizations to protect human rights. One of these organizations is the United Nations. The United Nations works to keep peace in the world and to help people in need. Hitler's actions also led to the creation of new rules about war. These rules are called the Geneva Conventions. They say that even during a war, people must be treated with respect. Soldiers cannot hurt civilians, and prisoners of war must be treated fairly. These rules are very important because they help protect people during difficult times. Hitler's life and actions are still studied today. Historians try to understand why he did the things he did. They also study how he was able to gain so much power. Hitler was a very good speaker, and he knew how to convince people to follow him. He used propaganda, which is information that is spread to make people believe something. The Nazis used propaganda to make people think that their ideas were right. They also used fear to control people. If someone disagreed with Hitler, they could be punished or even killed. This made many people afraid to speak out against him. Hitler's rise to power happened during a difficult time in Germany. After World War I, Germany was in a bad situation. They had lost the war, and they had to pay a lot of money to other countries. This made many people in Germany very poor and unhappy. Hitler promised to make Germany strong again. Many people believed him and supported him. But his ideas were very dangerous, and they led to a lot of suffering. Today, Hitler is remembered as one of the most evil people in history. His actions caused a lot of pain and destruction. But his story also teaches us important lessons. It shows us how dangerous it can be when one person has too much power. It also shows us how important it is to stand up for what is right. Even when it is difficult, we must always try to protect others and fight against injustice. The story of Adolf Hitler is a sad and difficult one. But it is important to remember so that we can learn from the past. By understanding what happened, we can work to make sure that such terrible things never happen again. We must always remember the importance of peace, kindness, and respect for all people. These are the values that will help us build a better world for everyone.